But it's good to see, from looking at the faces here, that we actually have a really good mix of people that are from Scampton, Lincoln and the local area, and people that have come here from further afield because they've been facing these exact same problems where they are, sometimes for many, many years. And so, it's good to see people in this country finally starting to act in a national solidarity, because this mentality of not in my area but in someone else's is one of the reasons why things have escalated as far as they have. Because now there is nowhere to hide, there is nowhere to run, the problems are reaching everywhere like tendrils, and if they're not confronted, they're never going to go away. Because the RAF knew, just as the government knew, that anything that was part of the heritage and the history of our people was liable to be defiled and destroyed by uninvited, unwanted outsiders. People who have no connection to this land and no connection to its history. When I was there, something that I said to everyone, and in particular I addressed it to the MP and to the council. What I said was this: for weeks and months there has been, from Labour, from the Conservatives, from the Liberal Democrats, from every single side of the political spectrum, they have all said, we are opposed to what is happening in Scampton. 3 months ago in April, when we did this for the first time, I asked every single one of them, well, if you really are opposed, don't just tell us there, come here and say it to everyone who stands here. And from every single one of them, all that came was abuse and insults and slander against every single person involved in this campaign. And I expected nothing less, because you expect pathological liars to tell you lies all the time.
Jesus Christ.
Now, on Wednesday, I did the exact same thing again. With however many 100 people were there as my witness, I said, put your money where your mouth is and say what you've said here, in this place, in front of all these people. I saw one person from among them who came today. Didn't see the MP, didn't see the councillor in Scampton. And having met these people, I now understand why. Because at the heart of the problem is cowardice. Not just in Scampton, but up and down this country. The reason that the problem has gotten to this point, where our own people, British people, are made strangers in their own country, is due to a relentless and unending cowardice that comes from the Hall of Common Criminals in Westminster. I always hear, every time I do this, from the likes of the unions, the hard left, the communists, the Marxists, I keep hearing from them, refugees are not to blame. No, they're right, they're not to blame. The likes of them are to blame. Those vermin are to blame. The root cause of every problem that is plaguing this country today can be traced back to the same cartel of people who give the illusion of being enemies of one another, but all the while, like gangs in a drug cartel, they conspire they conspire against anything they perceive to be a threat to their rule. They look at the sort of people who stand here today and they see a threat. They see a threat because we're doing what we're doing, not for money, not for power, but because of a loyalty to our own people that they do not possess. And that to them is a threat. The likes of the unions, who endlessly claim we are the arbiters of the working man, and they spit on people like me, they spit on nationalists. It's not because of any ideology, it's because we offer to do the same thing as them, but we do it for free. Everything is designed to be a grift, and our people are the victims of this grift. Our enemy today is an enemy that has taken root within. It is not a foreign country. It is not a foreign power. The enemy in this nation is an enemy that lives within. It's an enemy that professes itself to be our leaders, but leads our people only to their own death. It's an enemy that proclaims loyalty and proclaims to be one of us, but an enemy that is as alien to anybody here as someone who came from another planet. Our people have a connection to this land. British people have a connection to British land. English people have a connection to English land. 1,000 years of heritage is now in our hands. We are the people who have inherited that great sum from ages past. And there's two choices in front of us. We can either live up to the example, or we can allow it to fall and be smashed into pieces. I know that it might appear that the situation is hopeless. I know there's going to be people here who are going to stand looking and thinking, well, what difference can this make? What difference can it possibly make to see 50, 60 people gathered in the rain? How can that make a difference? But what they don't understand, and what they maybe need to discover, is that actually everything they need to save this nation is already within their possession. Everything they need is within their own blood. They don't need to look around to anybody else to save them. As sure as the people of this nation do not need to look to any foreign power to rid them of this problem. Everything that we require to build the future we want is contained within our own hands and our own will and our own work. Our people are not dust. Our people are nothing like the filth that is standing around that corner. Our people are not cowards. Our people are not thieves. Our people are not parasites. Our people are a great people, and they have been made great by 1,000 years of work. And this work will not be squandered. The time is coming soon when there will be a judgment. And all those people who for years of decades have plotted the ruin of this nation and its people, and they've done it with the belief that there would never be a reckoning, they will be proven mistaken, because a reckoning will come. And by the time they realise that it's upon them, then it will be too late. What we see here today is not just a gathering of people. What we see is the wolves of Albion coming out from years and decades of slumber. What we see is our people beginning to awaken in a way that hasn't happened in many, many years. Those people that are alive today cannot pass the can to anyone in future. Those people that are here today will be the deciding factor in the fate of our nation. And all those people that have believed that this nation and its people are finished, that Britannia is dead, they will be proven wrong, because Britannia will live and march on. So now's the time to back up the words with actions. So in about 10 minutes, what we're going to do is we're going to do what we promised we would do when we came here today, despite the rain, despite the filth, and we're going to march up Lincoln High Street. We'll have a banner at the front, we'll get the flags at the front, and what we're going to do is something that should have been done a long, long time ago, and we are going to march for our country and our people. So please don't go anywhere and join us as we march through Lincoln in about 5 to 10 minutes. We'll get everyone organised and then we'll head off.